All right, for this next video, we're jumping to 2.4 in the textbook. Now you're going to see what's going to be different when we solve equations. Now we're going to have variables on both sides, the left and the right side of the equal sign. We built our way up from very easy one-step equations to 2.3 where we had ones that possibly had 4 steps on them. Okay, now we're going to give you a different look. We're going to have variables on both sides. You can kind of see your rule or your goal. All variables must be brought to one side. Now, as soon as we get that to happen, as soon as we can get all the x's to be on one side of the equation, whether it's the left or the right side, then we do exactly what we did before. All our steps and our rules and our procedures for getting that variable by itself. Now, let's kind of put this up here. We'll add another rule in here, or we'll say goal. If you have variables on both sides of the equation, we want to move the smaller variable to the other side. And you're going to see why. You'll see even more so when we do inequalities, which will be, believe, right after this. So let's say move smaller variable to other side. Again, I can just write in caps here. If I write in cursive, it's going to be ugly. So I'm not like screaming at you right now. So move smaller variable to other side. Okay, that's the key. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's look at the first one. Okay, let's look at the variables. I have 2x and I have x. Remember, this x is like saying 1x. Well, what's smaller, 2x or 1x? Well, 1x is. So I'm going to move this one, right? I'm going to move this to the left side. Now, since it's plus 1x, I'm going to do the opposite. Let's do this. Let's draw a line down. So since it's plus 1x, I'm going to subtract x. So that cancels. And I'm going to subtract x on the left side. Now notice, when I bring over that x, notice how I line it up underneath the 2x because they're like terms. Don't put it under this negative 2 because you can't subtract x from negative 2. So if I look at this right here, what I circled, 2x minus x is x, and then I bring down this minus 2, and then the right side, all I have left with is 3. Now just like that, you have a very, very simple equation. You only have one more step. So I look at the left side that has x. Well, since it's minus 2, I do the opposite. I add 2. Add 2 here. 3 plus 2. I get my answer of 5. Okay? Number 2, I want you guys to do this right now so you can pause the video. You see you have negative 4x and you have negative 6x. So you're asking yourself, which one is this smaller variable? That's your first step. You want to move that to the other side. So do number 2 right now. So pause the video. Okay, right now we're going to do number 3. All right, number 3, let's look here. I'm going to draw this line straight down. Now we're kind of adding a step in here. If I look at this left side, I can't combine these. The right side, I can. Now the right side, the like terms that I have are 5 and negative 6. So if I do 5 minus 6, well, that gives me negative 1. So I'm done with these. And then I just bring down the plus 5x. The left side, I can't combine those terms. They're not like. So I just bring those down. So it's negative 5 plus 4x. Now I'm kind of at the same point that I was for number 1. Right? I have an x term and I have a constant. So now I ask myself, which is the smaller variable? Is it 5x or is it 4x? Well, obviously, it's positive 4x. Since it's positive 4x, then I subtract 4x. This cancels out. Okay, I subtract 4x on the right side. I line it up with the 5x because they're like terms. So on the left side, I just have negative 5 left. On the right side, let's see here, I still have negative 1. 5x minus 4x, well, that just gives me 1x. So I'll say plus x. Now I just focus on the right side because the only variable's on this right side. So to get this x by itself, well, to get rid of this negative 1, I add 1. And I'm going to have my answer. Add 1 here. So x is by itself on the right side. On the left side, negative 5 plus 1, that's going to give me my answer, which is negative 4. Okay. All right, let's do, let's see here. Let's do number 4. Okay, now this, I'm going to just box this so this 4 doesn't get confused with it. And this r, let's just change this to an x. All right, little typo right there, just so you're never going to have ones where you have more than one variable. Now, what should stand out here? Again, it's always those parentheses that stand out. Now, I'll show you a common mistake. A lot of students will look at this and say, oh, 5 minus 3 is 2, and then they try to distribute that. Okay, you can't do that. So erase that. There's a mistake. The reason why I can't do that is because we always follow order of operations. We do not subtract before we multiply. Distribute, you multiply. So I'm going to distribute this quantity, negative 3. I'm just going to bring this 5 down. And then, okay, I'll draw the line down. Then I'm going to distribute the negative 3. So negative 3 times negative 2, the two negatives cancel out, and it's plus 6. And then the negative 3 times negative 3x. Again, the negatives cancel out, and that's going to give me plus 9x. Okay, and the right side, I have 27 plus 5x. Okay, then again, I can't do anything to the right side because you can't add 5x and 27. They're not like terms. But here I have like terms. 5 plus 6 is 11. So I'm done with that. Then I'll bring down the plus 9x equals 27 plus 5x. Okay, now I'm at the same point that I started with the first equation. I can't combine 11 plus 9x on the left side, and I can't combine 27 and 5x. I want to move over the smaller variable. This is the smaller variable right here. 5x is smaller than 9x, so I subtract 5x. That cancels. I subtract 5x here. So on the left side, I have 11. 9x minus 5x is plus 4x. And then on the right side, I just bring down the 27. Then you have 2 steps left, right? We should get this right away. I'm going to subtract 11 here. So we have 4x equals 27 minus 11 is 16. Then we divide by 4. And then we're going to get our answer of x equals 4. All right, look at this. I'm going to count the steps. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a lot of work right there. And it's very important that you show all that work. There's no way that you could do number 4, look at that and say, yeah, the answer is x equals 4. There's no way. Okay, you're not going to know how to do that unless you show all the work. Very, very important. All right, let's do one more. We're going to do number 6. So number 5, you're going to do on your own. Okay, let's move up. So I'm going to erase some of the previous work. Okay, I can't erase that. Oh well. All right, number 6. Okay, I have x's on both sides. First, I want to see, can I combine any like terms on the left side and the right side? Well, the left side, I have these. 6x minus 6x. Well, the great thing about that is they cancel out. You get 0x, which is just 0. They go away. So we just have negative 3 equals, and then the right side is 1 plus 4x. So now I only have x on the right side, so I'm just going to focus my time on the right side. Well, I just have 2 steps left. I'm going to get rid of the 1 by subtracting it. That cancels out. Subtract 1 on the left side. So the right side, I just have 4x. The left side, let's see here, negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Then the right side, I want to get rid of this 4 since it's 4 times x. That means I divide by 4. I always do the opposite. So now I have x by itself, and negative 4 divided by 4 is negative 1. And that's our answer. All right, so you have all these notes right here. If you're confused, make sure you rewind, rewatch it, pause it, take down the notes. So you can say right here, you're going to do number 5, and you're going to do number 2. So 2 and 5, do those right now, and tomorrow we'll go over them in class.